Merry Christmas, everybody. What you're looking at is the details of an oil on panel created by Hieronymus Bosch around 1506. And you see in the center, Cava Cava Dominus, that means beware, beware, the Lord sees you. So let's begin. Interesting piece, misinterpreted by many. Just like the word sin. If you go ahead and dwell into the word sin, well, I'll just show you, okay? Here's the word sin. And the etymology says the word derived from Old English for original, what did they say? Sunjo, meaning sun. No, that's not true. That isn't true at all. You have to look into the Akkadian god. And it doesn't take long to, flip around and find it. And you'll see that they've lied. They've hidden the history once again. So all you have to do is look for the Akkadian god, Sin. And you can relate that to Sin City. Okay, so the Akkadian god, or the Sumerian god, Sin, can be related to the Sumerian god Nana, which in Mesopotamian religion is the god of the moon. So Sin was the father of the sun god, and Shamash, or in Sumerian Utu, was the name of the sun. And then you had Ishtar, which was the Sumerian name for Inanna, the goddess of Venus. And when you combine them together, they form an astral triad of deities. So if you want to really get into the truth about things, all you have to do is take a look at what sin really means. So why would Wikipedia try to misguide us? Why do historians try to misguide us all the time? There it is, right? There you go. Who worships the moon? So, you want to talk about the Temple Mount? We can talk about that too. Because there are people who take tours there, and they don't realize that they're standing on an area where there was child sacrifice. And all you need to do to find comparisons is is to go into Ur, the Royal Cemetery at Ur, which is in southern Iraq, in which the U.S. military were all over. It happened all over for a long, long time. And it's on a hill, it's on a mount. And that's where sacrifices have taken place. If you go ahead and you look into the Phoenician areas of child sacrifice, it's all there too. It's always on the mount. See for yourself. There it is, right there. So then you have the Temple Mount. Let's talk about the Temple Mount. That's where Jesus overturned the tables, right? According to the synoptic Gospels. You look at Matthew 21, 12, 17. Look at Mark 15 to 19. And of course Luke 19 and then 45, 48. And even in the beginning of the Gospel of John 2, 13 to 16, I believe, they talk about it. But there's two turnings of the tables. There are. And you have to really study your Bible to find that out. And that's what St. Augustine figured out. That's what Thomas Aquinas figured it out. And so when you take a look at Herod's temple, you say, well, Abraham was going to sacrifice Isaac there. It all comes together, and you realize that we need to find out what's beneath the Temple Mount, because Jesus went there and overturned tables twice. And why did he do it? Was it to say, how dare you commit commerce on hallowed ground? This is the ground of God. Or was he really saying, how dare you commit commerce on a place where you have sacrificed children, the most innocent? And that's what I think he was really saying. I think it's been hidden and distorted. And I think you can find the answers if you were to travel, let's say, to Provence and maybe look around really hard and see what the scholars missed. Because they're tricking you. That's what they do. They trick you. The top of Mount Moriah is buried, and it was an area where they were murdering children for a long, long time. It's where Abraham was about to murder children, and it's the same place where Muhammad supposedly was lifted up to heaven. It's where David supposedly was told by God, build a temple here. Maybe they were doing open air sacrifices and they needed a temple to start to hide their practices. So that's what you have to figure out, guys. I'm not going to do too many more videos because I'll probably piss off a lot of people, and I don't want too much attention. But if you do your research, you'll find that Jewish tradition holds that this was a site where God gathered the dust to create Adam. And once again, where Abraham was literally about to stab his child in the hip and in the head, and a goat was sacrificed in his stead. It's where King Solomon, King David's son, built the first temple on this very mountaintop, circa 1020 BC, and it lasted roughly 400 years when Nebuchadnezzar, the Babylonian king, trashed it and started an exodus. And so in the first century BC, Herod rebuilt it and expanded and refurbished the second temple. And it's at this very spot, according to the Gospel of John, that Jesus Christ lashed out against the money changers. And his crucifixion happened 170 yards away. It's also where the Roman general Titus crushed the Jews, and he sacked and burned the very temple in AD 70. So it's also where the Muslims, who call it Haram al-Sharif, the noble sanctuary, believe that the Prophet Muhammad ascended to the divine presence on the back of a winged horse. It's what they call the miraculous night journey. And you can see it if you've ever gone there. So if you just start to look at everybody who has been attracted to the spot, the British, Mamluks, the Ottomans, the Byzantines, the Persians, the Romans, the Greeks, the Babylonians, the Israelites, the Jebusites, I could just keep on going, the Crusaders, Helena, the mother of Constantine. What is it about this site, and why are they hiding it? That's the big mystery. That's the big mystery, and that's what you have to find. And you might want to look around in Saint-Baume, because perhaps the answer is there in Provence. But hey, I'm just a pianist.